and think about what's holding you back, because I can guarantee you that nobody is coming to save you. You are the person that is going to save you, and you should get to it today. All right, what is going on? Happy Thursday morning if you're listening to the podcast version of this, and happy Thursday evening if you're watching the YouTube version of this. Welcome to the Risen Fallen podcast. I am your host, Mark Hendrickson, and if you are brand new to this podcast, if you're brand new to this show, then what you can expect is open and authentic conversations about things like mental health and self-development and how to get your life moving in the right direction. If you feel like you're not where you want to be right now, if you feel like you're lagging a little bit behind, if you feel stagnant or just stuck in life, at least having the confidence knowing that you are moving at the very least 1% better every single day. And if you're not new to this show, if you're not new to this podcast, then thank you very much for coming back, supporting the show, supporting the movement, supporting the idea of making yourself 1% better every single day, and along the journey, lifting other people up as well. That is what you can expect. And so if you are brand new to this show, or you're a returning listener or viewer or watcher, whatever you are, I just want to say thank you from the very bottom of my heart. If you find these episodes beneficial for you, if you feel like there's some good information, a new perspective, a new shift in the way of thinking that you have right now, please just take 1 minute to go on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with people. And if you're listening to this on audio, then please jump on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen and rate it 5 stars. Leave a little review if you can. Little things like that. They take 2 minutes, literally just 2 minutes, less than the time that I've done for an introduction right now, and you can help the show a ton. And so if you find this message beneficial, just share it with somebody. But that's pretty much it. Welcome to the Risen Fallen podcast. I hope that your week is going well. It's Thursday, so obviously things are wrapping up a little bit here. And whether you decide, I don't know, when you guys listen to this, let me know. Whether you Instagram, DM me at Risen Fallen, or you commented on the YouTube. When do you guys listen to this? Do you do it while you're driving to work? Do you do it while you're doing your chores around the house? When do you find is the best time to consume information? I'm kind of curious about that. I'm going to take a little sip of my coffee here. I'm going to wet the whistle a little bit, so they say, and I'm going to take a little sip here. So if you got something in front of you, a cup of coffee, a cup of water, some protein shake, some amino acids, something like that, take a sip with me. If you have nothing in front of you right now, then let's just take a breath to get grounded, to get in the present moment and think about thoughts of self-development and reflection. Let's take a second right now. That is some good coffee. All right. So, very often I find myself chilling in this office here. Whether I'm reading, I'm journaling, I'm editing the podcast, I'm recording the podcast, I'm marketing the podcast, I'm talking to people about the podcast. Or sometimes I'm just kind of chilling out, having a little bit of tunes playing and reflecting and journaling and talking to myself. And that is kind of what recording this podcast is like sometimes. It's just kind of sitting here, talking to myself, having a conversation with myself. I do take little notes here and there, things that are kind of very repetitive or relevant in my journal entries, things that I've been talking to loved ones about, just basically key points of reflection that I've had to make in the last little bit. And if you're anything like me, a lot of the time your journaling, your reflectiveness can come in many different shapes and variations, I guess is the best way to say it. Sometimes it's very positive stuff like, hey, I'm really stoked about this. I did a good job with this or that or whatever it could be. This week, I was really grateful for this. I was really feeling a lot of love and gratitude and compassion because of that. Sometimes it can be very positive that way, and you can find things that you're very proud of and very excited for, things you're looking forward to. And then other times, your reflection and your journaling can lead you down some dark paths. And if that's the case for you, recently, I wanted to kind of make this episode special for you. And this is kind of going to be, an episode that's not for everybody. It's not going to be the message that everybody needs to hear, but I think that everyone can relate to this feeling at some point in their life. And so I wanted to cover a topic that I've talked about before on this podcast because it is very near and dear to my heart. And I think that it is a message that everybody does need to hear at some point in life, no matter who you are, where you come from, what your upbringing is. You've dealt with something like this before. And I think that especially in the last couple of years, we see many reasons to fall into these patterns of thinking. And whether it be some controversial topic that's going on in the world, or it's just something that applies to your own very personal life, I wanted to give this message to you. And that message sounds kind of brutal. It sounds kind of negative, but it also is uplifting, and it also should be motivating and inspiring for you as well. And that message is clearly and concisely that nobody is coming to save you. In the last couple of years, we've seen presidential elections, we've seen pandemics, we've seen tons of reason to try and follow all these billionaires in that we have in society, hoping that they can bring us some more freedom, bring us some more rights, bring us the rights that we deserve, the God-given rights that we deserve that are being infringed upon by governments. There's the Elon Musks of the world that are trying to preserve free speech. There's the people that worship Donald Trump as if he's a demigod. There's people that think that Joe Biden was the one that saved us from Trump. There's people that think that Justin Trudeau is going to save us all, and there's some people that think that he's going to harm us all. There's tons of people in this world that we attribute power to that we think are either against us or for us. And if they're against us, then there's going to be someone else that's going to come along and save our lives and save us. And this is a very, very prevalent thing that I see in society. No matter who you are, you think, oh, but just wait till the next election. Things are going to get better. Just wait until this guy does this. Things are going to get better. Maybe my parents will step in. Maybe my loved ones will step in. Maybe my coworkers will step in, and they're going to help me and help me complete this job. I just want to remind you that nobody in this world is going to be able to make improvements in your life that are significant enough to change the course of your life. Nobody's coming to save you. You need to save yourself. Your parents aren't going to be there forever. No politicians give a shit about us. They're not going to save us. No rich millionaires even think about us or know who we are. There's nobody in society that is going to change your life. You need to be the person that changes your life. And so, how does that relate to what I was talking about before? Maybe you do find yourself sitting here journaling to yourself, or thinking about journaling, or thinking about things that you would journal about, meditating on things from the past, ruminating about things from the past, because you probably think about these things at night. Some of the things that could keep you up at night and make you feel negative things about yourself or the people that you have around you, your loved ones. And the very first thing that you're going to do, obviously, I recommend journaling this stuff down, writing it down, physically having it down on a piece of paper in front of you so you can identify the beast that you're looking to fight. But accept your past, your mistakes, everything that's happened to you. Take inventory of those things that you still feel an emotional response to months or years ago. And think about, things that, like I said, it could be something that happened in your past. It could be a mistake you've made. It could be something that happened to you. What you need to do is analyze those things and put them in a ranking of importance of how they impacted you and how deeply they impacted you. Then you're going to want to acknowledge your role in these negative events. Is there a way that you played some key responsibility in regards to these things? Like I said, is this something that you're going to have to ask yourself, is this something that you've done something wrong? You've made a mistake. You were the issue at that situation? Or was this something that you view is completely out of your control? It fully responsibility to the outside world. Someone did this to you. The world did this to you. Society did this to you. Your parents did this to you. An ex did this to you, etc. Acknowledge your role in these negative events, and then think about, some of the things, that I would say, break it into two different columns. Acknowledge your role and the responsibility that you had in these events, and then break off and make a second column and think about, what are the things that I had absolutely no control over, the things that were completely outside of my control. I could not have changed these situations. I could not control these situations. There's nothing I can do to go back and change it and make sure that it doesn't repeat over and over again. Chalk it up to what you can control and what you cannot control. My best piece of advice, and this is probably going to be the hardest thing to do in regards to this type of topic or anything like that, is to let go of all of those things that are outside of your control. Like we've already covered, there's nothing that you can do to change the past. There's nothing that you can do to change situations that lie in the responsibilities of other people. All you can control in this world is yourself and your reactions to those around you. So, did someone take advantage of you? You need to ask yourself, did you let them take advantage of you? Were you putting them in a position where they had to? And I'm not trying to do like the whole victim blaming thing here. I'm just trying to deduce, is there any responsibility that you played in that situation? If not, fine, so be it. But that means there's nothing that you can control to change that situation, and you have to move past it. You have to put it in your past and acknowledge only the lessons that you can learn from these negative events so they don't repeat. Everything else, you're going to have to chalk it up and say, is this going to be something that anchors me and stops me from moving forward? Or am I going to find a way to tuck this in the whole fucking bank of people that I need to prove wrong and fucking things that I need to overcome? And am I going to develop the strength in the adversity to be able to, the strength and resilience to be able to overcome the adversities if they're going to come again? Because history doesn't always repeat itself, but it does tend to rhyme. And so you have to think about, if I had no control in those events, there's nothing I can do that will stop it from happening again. What am I going to do in the future if this happens? Think about the lessons that you can learn so that these things don't repeat. If you have no control over them and you can't control whether they repeat or not, think about how you're going to react in the future to make sure that you don't have a situation that you're in right now that you're not feeling good about. If you want to choose love, compassion, acceptance, forgiveness, then do that. You have to accept everything that's happened in the past because there's no way to change it. You have to accept that it is a part of your past. You have to accept that is the truth and that is a fact, and that the way that things are, they are how they are. And accept that and understand that you need to keep moving forward. And after all of that, you need to notice how these things have scarred you, where they've left a void in your personality or your behavior or your belief system. Where have these things impacted you? Because we're not done with them yet. You have to keep analyzing the things that you have in your closet, the skeletons that we all have in our closet. And it's not enough just to move on and move forward and ignore them and pretend they didn't happen. You have to actually address how these things have impacted you, how these things have scarred you. And think about, where does the damage lie? Where have they left a void? Is it in my support systems, in my friend groups? Have I lost too many people around me? Have I lost a family member? Have I lost a connection with a loved one? Have I lost a friend? Have I lost my partner? How can you rebuild that and fill that void in a healthy way? Has it impacted your confidence? Has it impacted your self-image, the way that you view yourself and the value that you have to those people around you? Has it impacted your financial health, the money that you have? Have you gone through all your savings trying to save somebody that couldn't be saved or didn't want to be saved or didn't even know that they needed saving? And you've blown through all of your finances trying to help them out? Has it left a void in the way that you think about other people? Not yourself, but how you think about other people. Has it left a void in the way that you view society, the rest of the people around you? Do you think that people are all out to get you, that you can't have anybody close to you, that you can't trust anybody? The void being trust. Do you feel like you can't trust anybody anymore, or even trust yourself? Do you need to fill a void in faith? Something outside of yourself. The reason why you're here. The reason why you belong. The reason why you have significance. Figure out the void that these negative events have left in your life. The scarring and where the damage lies. And after that, only after that, can you continue to push forward. Because then, once you address where the void is, not just why these events happened, how they happen, when they happen, how you can learn from them, how you can stop them from repeating, how you can react if they do repeat. But how do you recover from them now? How do you look at the void that it's left in your life and say, now I'm going to choose to move forward. And I need to refill this cup that's been emptied. Because the message that I'm trying to send you right now is nobody is going to come and do this work for you. Nobody. You can hire a counselor, you can hire a doctor, you can hire a psychologist, you can hire a naturopath, you can talk to your parents, you can talk to loved ones. But no one is going to be able to do this work for you. No one's going to be able to help you identify it the way that you know you can identify it right now. You think of that void and you think, how can I work on filling this back up? This cup that's been emptied or smashed or shattered. How can I replace the cup and fill it back up? I've talked about these topics before, and I've talked about them in small detail. I've talked about them in large detail. I'm trying to convey this in a way that helps you gain this perspective that's going to help you out. And I'm trying to find a way to be able to convey this to myself so that I can understand these things, because these are, journeys that I don't think that there is an end destination to. I think that that's what life is trying to figure all this stuff out. But when I look at being able to fill up these cups that have been emptied or broken or shattered or cracked, you have to identify the deep underlying thing, the void that's been left. If you find it difficult now to trust people around you and to trust yourself, you have to do things that build trust. You have to give people the opportunity to be trusted. You have to do things that are going to build trust in yourself. When you say you're going to do something, you have to make sure that you do it. Because if you don't follow through on the commitments that you make, you're destroying your own trust in yourself. And if you can't trust yourself in this world, who can you trust? With confidence, if you want to build more confidence, you have to do things that build your confidence. You can't be repeating the same habits and behaviors that break down your self-confidence and then think and wonder why your confidence isn't going up over time. You have to truly think about what makes you confident and how you can develop that. You have to think about these things. Support systems. If you want to be able to develop support systems, do you think that you're going to do it just by wishing and manifesting and praying for a support system? Or you're going to have to be there for other people and be vulnerable to other people. Allow them the opportunity to support you and allow yourself to be of service of supporting somebody else. If you don't have people in your life like that, then you're going to have to go out and meet people in person, whether that is at your local church, your local library, your local coffee shop, your local gym, your local yoga studio, your local martial arts studio. Anywhere that you go to work or play or do anything during your day, there's people to connect with there. You have to be the person that goes out and does this. If the void is money, then you're going to have to smarten up. You're going to have to tighten up on your expenses and think about where you can save money. Think about how you can make more money. Think about how you can get your financial life in better health. These are things that are not going to be fixed by just waiting for someone else to come and save you, praying for this to be fixed, manifesting it with the law of attraction or anything like that. You are going to have to do the work. And so as we get into this weekend now, I just wanted to remind you guys that, because some people have some spare time on the weekends. That's when I do the most of my reflection with my reading and journaling. and my note taking, but I just wanted to give you guys this reminder right before the weekend to just focus on that reflection and think about what's holding you back, because I can guarantee you that nobody is coming to save you. You are the person that is going to save you, and you should get to it today. So that's all I got. I hope you're doing well. I hope this message finds you well. And if you feel like you need to share with somebody, please do. That's all I got. I will check in with you guys on Monday. Much love and peace out, you beautiful human beings.